morning, everyone, and welcome to Kids Corner. I have something today that I found. Can you guess what's in this jar? It's a caterpillar, and I had to use this magnifying glass when I was out looking. This helped me focus and find what it is I was looking for. Can you see the caterpillar in that jar? This caterpillar is going to change into a beautiful, beautiful butterfly. Oh my goodness, you look so big to me today. Wow, have you ever grown since I've last seen you? In our Bible story today, you're going to hear about a man named Saul. And Saul didn't believe in Jesus, and actually he would arrest people who did believe in Jesus. But Saul became a changed man, and he loved Jesus, and then he wanted to tell other people about Jesus. So listen carefully to our story this morning. Here on Kids Corner, in a little bit, you're going to hear about 4 kindergarten graduates. 2 Madeleines, Madeline, Ethan, and Adelaide. They're 4 young people at our core, and we're going to celebrate them today because they are our very special kindergarten graduates. Let's stand together, and we're going to sing really loud, have lots of fun, and enjoy every moment of Kids Corner today.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Acts, chapter 9, verses 1 through 9.
If anyone was set up for the good life, it was Saul of Tarsus.
Greetings.
Though Saul's family was Jewish, he was also born a Roman citizen. Throughout his life, he was known by 2 different names.
You may call me Saul or Paul.
As a young man, Saul was sent to Jerusalem to study with the famous Rabbi Gamaliel.
Let's see. You have achieved 100% in classical literature, 111% in philosophy, and in ethics, 99%.
I vow to do better.
Saul became a Pharisee like his father before him. He carefully studied God's law and prayed 3 times a day.
Dear God, help me follow your laws 100% perfectly.
Like the other religious leaders in Jerusalem, though, Saul was caught off guard by the events that surrounded the life and death of Jesus.
Good riddance. Now that fool can't try to overturn God's laws anymore.
Haven't you heard? Jesus' follower says he's returned to life.
They've seen Jesus?
They've seen Jesus.
Oh, those riffraff will slink away soon enough.
Against all odds, the followers of Jesus didn't fade away. In fact, the numbers began to grow.
5,000? You're telling me that 5,000 people are following the way of a dead man?
Well, technically, they think he's alive.
Not helping.
The religious leaders in Jerusalem did everything they could to squash the new movement. They even arrested a leader among the Jesus followers named Stephen. After telling lies about him, they dragged him outside the city.
This man is a disgrace.
Saul stood by and held the coats of the men, who picked up stones and threw them at Stephen, until they killed him.
If Stephen had just let go of this Jesus nonsense, he wouldn't have had to die.
It's terrible. I heard people are following the way of Jesus in other cities too.
What? Inconceivable.
Saul quickly became known for hunting down people who believed in Jesus. When he discovered that some Jews in Damascus were following Jesus, he went straight to the high priest.
This Jesus thing is spreading everywhere.
I'm aware.
They think he's alive.
Hashtag yup.
Someone should do something.
I hope you have something constructive to say.
Give me letters to the synagogues in Damascus so I can arrest all the believers and bring them back here.
Now you're talking.
Saul set off for Damascus with the blessing of the high priest. He traveled with a group of men to arrest the believers they found. After days on the road, they neared the city.
There it is.
We'll make it by lunch.
No, we must take time to pray.
As he did 3 times every day, Saul stopped and turned to Jerusalem to pray, certain God was on his side.
Dear Lord, help me to catch every single one of those despicable Jesus people.
Suddenly, a light more brilliant than the midday sun blazed down around Saul. He staggered, fell to the ground, squeezing his eyes shut against the glare.
Saul, why are you opposing me?
Saul gasped. It felt as though the whole earth shifted beneath him.
Who are you, Lord? I am Jesus. I am the one you are opposing.
The men around Saul stared in horror and confusion, unable to speak. They could see no one, but heard a sound, perhaps like a roar of thunder.
Now get up and go into the city. There you will be told what you must do.
Saul reeled. He struggled to his feet and finally opened his eyes. He saw nothing, only darkness.
What's happened?
You tell us. We saw the light, and you fell, and this sound, and then you said...
I can't see.
What?
I can't see. I've been blinded.
That's not good. Here, take my hand.
Saul grasped the man's hand and shuffled a few steps forward.
Who were you talking to?
I think it was Jesus.
You heard Jesus?
I heard Jesus.
Saul's companions led him into Damascus, where he stayed at the home of a man named Judas on Straight Street.
Want something to eat?
I'm not hungry.
Or water?
Not thirsty.
For 3 days, Saul wrestled with himself and God. He'd come face to face with the very man he knew was dead, but discovered that Jesus was very much alive. Now blind, Saul was forced to see everything in a brand new light.
Let me introduce you to our 4 kindergarten graduates. Madeline Elliott, Madeline Tucker, Ethan Hocko, and Adelaide Kelly. Here they are.
Our first graduate is Madeline Elliott. Madeline wants to go to other countries to help kids who don't have much clothes, food, clean water, or shelter. Congratulations, Madeline. Our second graduate is Madeline Tucker. Madeline wants to become a principal and run a school when she gets older. Congratulations, Madeline. Our third graduate is Ethan Hocko. Ethan wants to be a dentist when he grows up. Congratulations, Ethan. Our fourth and final graduate is Adelaide Kelly. Adelaide wants to be either a baker baking sweet treats or be in a classroom as a teacher. Congratulations, Adelaide.
Wow, look what I found. Coins. Even though you couldn't see the coins before I started coloring, they were still there. Faith is trusting what you can't see because of what you can see. Our Bible verse today is Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see.
Hi everyone, I hope you're having a great week and I hope you really enjoyed the story and songs that we had this morning on Kids Corner. While we were watching the video, I was finishing a picture and I can't wait to show it to you. What do you think? Looks pretty good, doesn't it? Just kidding. You can't actually see anything. I've been working so hard on this picture and all I've been using is white paper and a white crayon, so you can't even tell what I've drawn here. Sometimes life is a lot like my picture. We work and we're not quite sure how something's going to turn out. I'll give you an example. When we started all this back in March, we weren't quite sure how it was going to turn out. We all had to leave our schools and our workplaces and our churches, and we weren't quite sure what it was going to end up like. Well, that's a lot like my picture. I worked really hard on it this morning, and I can't even tell what it's like. But I do have a plan. So I have these paints here. They're watercolor paints. I'm going to add these to my picture to see what happens when I add some color. If you want to do this activity at home this morning, it's really easy. All you need is some white paper and a white crayon, and then you need some kind of a watercolor paint. So I'm sure lots of you have those things home. I'm going to use purple on my picture with the paint because I love purple. It's my favorite color. Just bear with me. I'm no artist, but I'm almost done. So you just add your paint right over your whole page from where you colored. We're going to see what happens. There you go. The whole time I was working on this flower, but I just couldn't see it because it was white on white on white. Well, knowing Jesus changes how we see everything. When we know Jesus and we have faith in Him, He helps us see the world in all kinds of color, with love and peace and joy. It's kind of a lot like our story this morning. When Saul was on the road to Damascus and he lost his sight, he had no idea what the future held. He was blind for 3 days and he had no idea if he'd ever be able to see his friends and his family and the people he cared about again. But then God helped healed his eyes and the scales fell off and he was able to see. And then God had an amazing plan for Saul, or who we now call Paul. So it's just like my picture. We can choose love and joy and forgiveness because we know all the things Jesus has done for us. And we know that even though things might be hard, when we love Jesus and we serve him, he'll help us through all those difficult times. So this is your project for this week. You can make a picture like this and stick it on your fridge or stick it on your wall. I've been seeing lots of you have been doing all kinds of amazing art projects since this started, and you've been painting canvases and painting rocks to hide on the trails and all kinds of really cool art projects. So this is one you can add because I know you all have white paper and white crayons and paint at home. So give this a try. Post your picture on our site so that we can see it. We'd love to know that you're enjoying these activities. I'm going to pray to finish our morning at Kids Corner. So, like we do when we're together at church, put one hand up, the other hand up, and clap them together and bring them down. And close your eyes and pray with me. Dear God, thank you for the Bible and thank you for the stories that you tell us there that help us learn more about you. Thank you, Lord, that when things are hard, you're still with us and you help us see the world in all kinds of colors from you. Love, joy, peace, and faithfulness. Be with our families and our friends and our church family this week. Amen. Have a great week, guys.
Thank you for joining us here on Kids Corner today. Join us at 4 o'clock later this afternoon when we celebrate our high school graduates. We have a special online virtual graduation for them. So come back on our Citadel Facebook page at 4 o'clock and let's watch and celebrate our high school graduates together. I'd like to thank Abigail and Sarah today for joining us. And as always, a special shout out to Nicholas Hillier. You don't see him, but he's the guy who's making all of these videos come together so we can bring them to your homes each and every week. Have a wonderful week, everyone. Stay tuned for our worship at home coming up next, and I look forward to seeing you again real soon.